What's going on, everybody? In this video we will be looking at the best controller buttons for non-claw players. In Fortnite you can change your controller buttons to anything that you like. Right now this isn't a problem for anyone using claw, but what about the people that don't want to learn how to play claw? What can they do? We will be looking at what you can do if you don't have any paddles, if you only use one paddle, two paddles, or four paddles. I will also be referring to an Xbox controller while doing this video because that's what I use. But just know this can apply to PS4 controllers as well, with A, B, X, and Y being equivalent to X, circle, square, and triangle. The reason we are skipping three paddles is because not that many people use it, if any. If they're using multiple paddles, it is usually two or four. Alright, so let's start with no paddles. The way the buttons are set up by default, you have to do a lot of hand gymnastics to be able to press all the buttons while trying to keep your thumbs on the sticks as much as possible. Keeping your thumbs on the sticks is important due to you being able to track your opponent easier and eliminating wild flick shots. If you're constantly taking your thumbs off of the sticks to press buttons, then switching back to the sticks to aim, you have a much higher chance of either over or under correcting and missing shots. Two buttons that very much have to do with being able to aim at the same time are jump and switching to your build mode. Originally, these two actions are binded to A and B. You want to take them off of that and bind them to one of your sticks. When you press your left stick, it is often used for sprint. You can eliminate this by turning auto sprint on in the settings. Turning this on will allow you to sprint at all times and will free up left stick for either jump or switching to build mode. Right stick is bound to crouch by default. This can be eliminated by moving it to one of your buttons, A, B, X, or Y. These binds might take a while to get used to, especially if you aren't used to pressing on both of the sticks. But once you do, trust me, it will help you a lot. What if you have one paddle? Having one paddle is a very comfortable way to play, especially if you're trying to get into using more paddles in the first place. The most common use for one paddle is to use it as your jump button. The reason for this is due to you being able to jump and dodge incoming fire while having your thumbs on the right stick to line up a return shot. While this is the most common use for one paddle players, it can still be very beneficial to move your build mode to something else so your right thumb doesn't have to leave the stick at any point unless you're attempting to reload. For this, I highly recommend taking sprint off of your left stick and turning on auto run. With this stick now freed up, you can use it to switch to your building mode. This will allow you to react much faster to being shot at, as well as taking quick shots, then building to cover yourself. An example where this can come in handy is the Tfue Classic. You can jump with your paddle, then shoot, then quickly switch to your builds and lay down a floor underneath you, all while keeping an optimal crosshair placement. If you want to take it a step further, I recommend using a tip from the no paddle section by switching crouch to one of your buttons and edit to the other stick. This will allow you to edit quicker because you can keep both of your thumbs on the sticks instead of having to readjust constantly. For this, I recommend building on your right stick and then edit on your left. Now for two paddle players. A two paddle combination is the most likely combination for players using paddles. Often they are matched up with A and B or jump and building mode. Just like the last two, this frees up your aim to improve due to your crosshair being free and you not having to take your hands off of the sticks. Taking this a step further, bind your edit to your left stick and take sprint off of that. This way you can jump, edit, and build all without taking your hands off of the sticks. This, quite frankly, is the closest way you can get to emulating a mouse and keyboard with just two paddles. Lastly, we got the four paddle controller players. Four paddles is the hardest way of playing on a controller on this list. Essentially, you have to get used to those fingers that are used to just holding the controller to get used to pressing two buttons each. There isn't a whole lot of variation when it comes to players playing like this. 99% of the time, these paddles are binded to A, B, X, or Y. The last thing you need to do here is bind your edit button to one of your sticks, usually your left stick, and you never have to take your thumbs off of the sticks unless you're going into your inventory. This is the perfect scenario, but also is the most uncomfortable, therefore most unrealistic for most people. But if you are able to master four paddles, your aim, building, and movement will improve drastically. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover on Fortnite in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe with notifications on. Hope you all have a great day.